Just a quick introduction. I'm Santanu Bhattacharya, the Chief Data Scientist at Airtel. I also work at Indian Institute of Science and at collaborating with MIT. Quickly, I have worked at world's largest technology companies, Facebook, AOL, etc. Built a bunch of startups. In the past 25 years, I've been fortunate enough to be associated with two major inflection points: the rise of the internet and now the rise of the artificial intelligence, both in the Western world as well as now in the emerging markets. Today's talk is about the emerging market, specifically about India, which is the largest emerging market of all. India is a fascinating country. We have 1 billion people speaking over hundreds of languages. Smartphone, while it is 450 million people, still India is a feature phone-dominated country. Lower middle income makes it very, very difficult for a lot of people to afford a lot of technology and services. So people would say that's a weakness of a country, but I would say that probably is one of the biggest strengths of India. The products and services that get built under those circumstances, under those constraints, are likely to be successful in many countries around the world other than India. So you, I, and 300 million Indians who came to the internet came through an interface called screen, mobile, tablets, or the PCs. The next billion that are going to come to the internet aren't going to come that way. They're going to talk to the internet for their products and services. They are going to join the internet by using voice as the interface. At my lab at Airtel, as well as in multiple startups, I'm actually seeing the exponential technologies that are being built today for having the next billion join internet through the voice interface. How do you do it? Using massive scale data. Airtel, which is one of India's top companies, just in 24 hours, 300 million consumers consume 60 petabytes of data. That's almost 1 billion hours of video in a day. Run 24 billion data sessions. All this gives us massive quantity of data that allows us to build essentially exponential scale technologies. The next example I'll use is something that may not even resonate with most of you because it's not a problem in the Western countries. When I order a pizza or when I ask for an emergency service in my house in California, it automatically comes. In India, it's actually not that straightforward. In many developing countries, it's not that straightforward. Just being able to associate an address with a location in India, just in India, would actually add about 10 to 12 billion in the GDP, about 0.5% of the GDP. Now think about what the exponential technologies can do in real life. Just in one country, if it can add about $12 billion, globally, it can do about 50 or 60 in other emerging markets. When I went back to India from the United States, I found that technology was being developed in a very different way than we have seen in the United States. A group of people in academics, in government, in startups, as well as in industry, were building something called India Stack, India's first digital platform for accessing digital products and services nationwide. The Aadhaar, the National Identification Scheme, gave 99% Indians identity and enabled, within the first year, 350 million, which is bigger than the population of the United States, to get bank account for their first time in their life. Just last month, Unified Payment Interface, which is India's national payment interface, did 1.3 billion transactions. In fact, UPI in the past 18 months did more transactions than credit cards did in the 18 years. That's remarkable. That's the power of what I would call is a planetary scale platform. India is about 1/6 of the planet, and things that are built there at a low cost, at a high utility, at a scale, can serve the planet. So what's my call here? My call is here that, as you have seen, we talked about 3 things: exponential technology, massive scale data, and planetary scale platforms. A lot of them are working in India in service and adding significant ways to the GDP. And thousands of startups are right now building on top of this. If we can start a discussion at this forum about how to take these technologies and scale it globally, that would be an awesome start for bringing the products, similar products, to the globe. Not to the next billion, but to the next 5 or 6 billion that are yet to come to the internet, are not yet the part of the digital economy. Thank you.